So Ten Hag says, I'm not bothered about what's going on off the pitch. I'm only bothered about what happens on it, and that is the next game. Ten Hag has been talking today. Hello, everybody. I am Adam. Welcome to The Vibe. We're back live. We've done a few videos recently. Absolutely smashing it with your comments and your likes, people. Cheers for all the support, as always. I'm loving the feedback. Keep it coming, and that's why we like to throw in these interactive shows as well. I want to get your opinions and your points on everything that is going on United, as always. And obviously, in the build-up to the Premier League this weekend coming back, Ten Hag has been talking, and we are ready. Oh, I think we're all ready for some football. I think what we are worried about, though, is that type of football we're going to be seeing and what's actually going to happen with United. There is a separate video coming out of the full preview, of the game this weekend. A more in-depth one in terms of like setups, formations, and things like that. So do tune into that. That's coming out later tonight as well, around about 10 o'clock. I wanted to get into everything that has been talked about in Ten Hag's press conference today, the other news circulating in Manchester United today, which is interesting in terms of a little bit more of Sir Jim Ratcliffe stuff, more on like players that are coming back, players that are injured. Ten Hag trying to explain a lot of things in his press conference. A very, very cute sort of response to a Jadon Sancho question, which I found quite amusing. Considering you guys seen my video yesterday. Cheers for all the feedback on it as well. A lot of people, in terms of response from that video, were pretty much on the side of, I'm just sick to death of these prima donnas at Manchester United earning absolute fortunes and just getting away with murder by not performing. And then all of a sudden, they're claiming poverty. They're moaning and complaining about how they're being treated at the football club. And yeah, I think we just need to out it. I think we just need to see the end of it. And ultimately, hopefully, Ten Hag is still in situ and he can carry on doing what he's doing, because I feel like as much as it is the unknown and we're not liking what we're seeing on the pitch, there's this overwhelming feeling that Ten Hag is doing a lot off the pitch. And I think that's what's important right now. Ten Hag, I feel like the way he has dealt with a lot of situations, and no manager on the planet could have handled what Ten Hag has had to handle as good as what he has done. It's simple, isn't it? It's facts. No one has had to deal with the issues that he's had to deal with, and he's having to front up everything. It's like questions that he was asked today, for instance. We'll get into what Ten Hag has been talking about today, concentrating on the next game. He just wants to talk football. He wants a team given to him that can actually perform on the pitch the way he wants them to perform. Now, we can scrutinise Ten Hag's decision, his in-game management, and everything like that as much as we want, but ultimately, we do know that he's working with his hands tied behind his back, and he's going to need a lot more. He's going to need a lot more, and he's going to need time more than anything. Time is everything for a manager right now. Look at the best in this league. Look how long they've had. It's there, isn't it? They've all been given the money. They've all been backed, and the only ones that are winning anything, i.e. City, Liverpool sometimes, are the managers that have been backed by their owners. So, yeah, that's how I see it. But yeah, getting into Ten Hag's questions and sort of like the hot topics from the press conference today, I feel like he was sort of expecting a bit of an avalanche. You can always tell with Ten Hag, and like you guys know, I've been there while working with the United Stand. I've been there in press conferences, and I've seen how when the pressure's on, you sort of know what's coming from Ten Hag. You know that he is going to be ready for certain questions. And obviously, the first one that comes up, I mean, I don't know. You tell me, guys, in terms of has he been kept informed of what is happening off the pitch in terms of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and everything going on there? I mean, I said it in a video the other day. I think it was earlier in the week, the video at the canal side of Old Trafford, where if I was Ten Hag, I'd be like knocking on the doors to like, who is my boss? Who am I answering to? Is a new sporting run side of Manchester United going to involve another person that I have to answer to? That's what I want to know. And it's concerning because when he was asked about that today in the press conference, and sometimes you can say yes, they'll just back the questions off, sidestep that question, move on to the next one, more football related that he can answer properly. And he's qualified to answer, to be honest, because he should not be asked. He shouldn't be having to answer questions on the ownership. The club should be coming out and talking more in this subject. But no, it's always down on the manager. And Ten Hag, again, is having to front it up. I don't care, basically. It's like the title of this video, the thumbnail. I don't care. It's not my interest. Other people at the football club are dealing with that, and they will inform me when that is all done. I'm concentrating on what is important, which is the next game and the next block of games for Manchester United, Sheffield United this weekend, ultimately. So I looked at that and I went, he's probably not telling the truth in terms of, or he's not letting off. He's not letting on everything he knows, I don't think. I feel like there is more that he does know. And of course, he will be kept informed with it. I mean, do you guys feel like he needs to be? I would be, like I said, as a manager, I think I need to be. Phil McCantona, great name. Ratcliffe is only interested in commercial side and using sporting side to appease fans. Well, he's not coming in it for nothing, is there? I mean, I said that the other day. There's no way that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is entering into this if he's not going to get anything out of it. I mean, it'd be absolutely crazy. We know how he runs things. We know how he runs Ineos. 60% share of Ineos with his other mates, and it turns over 65 billion, sorry. Gee, that absolutely dwarfs what Manchester United are actually turning over. But that is a completely different industry altogether. But it just shows you the power and just shows you what he's used to and how much he's used to handling. So in terms of his staff, how is he going to run it? The sporting side, he's everything that he wants to do. He wants to deal with the sporting side of Manchester United more than anything, is what's coming out at the moment. And obviously, within the next 2 weeks, we'll probably find out what that is and what that entails, like I've said on many videos before. But he basically wants Manchester United to run the way he wants things to run. He feels like he's in a position now where he can take his experience from Nice as well and bring it into United on a bigger scale, and he's ready for it. So for me, yeah, I'm interested to see exactly how it all pans out and how he implements this sporting side, if it is the case. If Sir Jim's business controls transfers, he will not allow overspending. You may see more loan players from France. Oh, that's a bit of a dampener there, Patrick. But I understand what you're saying. I know we have to be clever. I've said that we have to be clever as well in the transfers, but come on. I mean, he has to do more. If Manchester United, he will know. He's a football man. I mean, yeah, he's not there at every single game. I don't think he'll be at Manchester United a lot either. If he does have some part to play or he does take some shares in United, I don't think we're going to see Sir Jim Ratcliffe that much. But he is going to have to invest some money for Manchester United to get better. It's as simple as that. I think he knows that. So, yeah, in terms of being crafty with the loan market and stuff like that, I still see that being there with United because, like the rumours coming out, it's going to be one of, as it was before, like sell to buy, try and balance the books a little bit better. I think what we need to do is get a grip of the big wages and actually sort of structure our transfers a little bit better. Actually have control of them and not having players with all the power for once. So you should be looking. Adam, please let me see one of them nerd jumpers. No, I'm not having one of them. People are jumping the gun before full facts are out. I don't believe Ratcliffe would be happy with part ownership. I mean, it's all in view to actually get more, I feel, into it. I think that's what it is. He wouldn't come in if there wasn't the prospect of owning more. He is the main boss in Ineos, like we've discussed already, but I just can't see someone that powerful with that influence coming into Manchester United willy-nilly, just sitting there and letting someone else run it, letting someone else control his money that he's invested. He is going to have a say. It's as simple as that. You don't spend that much money and not have a say. Actually, the Qataris will return with an 11th hour bid, hopefully. I can't see it happening, mate. Wishful thinking. But, yeah, moving on to everything else Ten Hag has been talking about. And he's talking about the injuries. He's talking about players coming in, having to adapt to situations, injuries, like he said then. Bruno Fernandes came up. Bruno's a great right winger as well. I hate Bruno Fernandes on the right wing. I think he's ruined. And this is one thing that I will going on Ten Hag about, and I don't like him doing. It's moving players around. I understand when the chips are down, you have to sort of adapt. You have to find a way. He's right in what he's saying in that, and Bruno he was saying find space and the game is more open for him on the right-hand side and he can drift into number 10 from the right-hand side. I understand all of that, but we do lose that outlet on the right-hand side when Bruno's there, because Bruno's usually in the middle, spraying the ball out to that side, and then there's no one there because Bruno's trying to do every man's job when it's all going wrong. And it's all been going wrong quite a lot recently, and that's where I think the criticism of Bruno Fernandes has come, because he hasn't been reined in. He needs to be reined in, Bruno Fernandes, and right now we're not seeing that from Ten Hag. So, yeah, I feel like I understand what he's saying in terms of Bruno Fernandes and having to adapt players. That's all good, but I think there's been chances this season when we've had plenty of wingers sat on the bench and Bruno Fernandes has been out there. So, no, I'm not buying that one from Ten Hag at all. I'm really not. Even now, I'm just going through some of your messages again. Let's see. From a structure in a formation builds a team. It does, Patrick. If the Glazers out will be better for us. Yes, Nathan, that is true. And yeah, Sheffield United 2, Man United 1. I don't want to see that. Nobody else is the Glazers ain't either. Now they have this money. Nobody else is the Glazers aren't even now. Oh, sorry, that one's been written wrong. I thought I was reading it wrong, but yeah, I tried. But yeah, again, I want to make this more about Ten Hag and what he's been talking about and how he doesn't care what's going on off the pitch right now. It's a deflection, and I think a deflection that we all sort of need. I think we all need to be seeing the football again this weekend. I mean, we've had enough of everything going on off the pitch. I think it's hard enough watching England, to be honest. I know they had a good game against Italy the other night. It was a better England performance, but honestly, international football absolutely drains the life out of me. It really does. And I'm just glad that football is back this weekend. I mean, I look at the international breaks at this stage of the season as normally my worst time of the season. It just disrupts everything. Players coming back. We always seem to get injuries coming back from international breaks. And again, that brings me to the next point of what Ten Hag was talking about, which was Casemiro and how he's disappointed that he's had to stay behind in Brazil because he's picked up an injury while on international duty. And for me, Casemiro looks like he's been playing with an injury all the way through this season so far. He's been that off it. So I look at it and I go, Casemiro being out and Amrabat coming in, I think that's probably a good thing for us, because we're now actually going to see Amrabat in a position where he should be played and we can start finally judging him. So that for me is massively important as well. So I would go not too concerned about Casemiro. We understand Ten Hag, his disappointment, another injury, but at least it's in an area where we actually got cover. Kobe Mainoo is back in training as well. So there's another midfielder to the fray as well. So we're not actually looking too bad, to be honest. We're not looking too bad in that midfield area. So going forward, I feel like we're definitely in a position where an injury now in central midfield, we pretty much got cover, especially with Kobe back, obviously Amrabat. So, and I want to see some changes in there. I wanted to see Casemiro dropped in the last game. So, yeah, I look at it and I go, we definitely have the players there to mix it up even when everyone's fit. So when injuries do come, not as concerned at the moment. The good news is, and Ten Hag talked about this as well, having his full back four ready again. Well, a natural back four. So we've got Reguilon coming back from injury. He's available again. And we've also got Rafael Varane coming back as well. So we should have players playing in positions that they should be playing in. That's the main thing out of everything. So for me, probably the best part out of the news conference today was the fact that we have got players coming back from injury and we've got more to choose from going into this game. That's what's important. And I feel like we should be going into this game fully confident. A few of your comments. Mainoo barely played first team football. We're banking on him. No, Whaley, we're not banking on him. I just feel like he is an option there to come off the bench and help us out as well. I feel like in games where we need to do a little bit or something a little bit different, then we've got another player there, a young player there. So midfield is looking okay, but that defense is a worry until Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are back. Shaw and Wan-Bissaka and Martinez, I would say. When they're back, then I feel like we can be a little bit more I think we can feel a little bit more comfortable. Yes, Højlund looks like a real Man United player, says Daz Silford. He does. I was talking about Højlund today. He just looks like that type of player that is going to be a Manchester United type player. Like, I know it's the same position, but he just reminds me of Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think he's got more to his game than Van Nistelrooy, but I just feel like the way he has taken to the United faithful, the way that he has taken to Old Trafford and playing in that Manchester United shirt, I just think he gets United. I think he knows what the fans want, and he's one of them players that everyone can jump onto straight away and know that he's going to give everything, even when he's not playing well. And the fans love players like that. And he will get goals. We've seen it. He will get goals. Sadindra in, we need physicality tomorrow and mobility. They will be going in hard into every tackle, and their fans will be, yes, the fans will be right on top of us. Sadindra, 100% right, mate. 100% right. That is going to be a hostile atmosphere tomorrow at Bramall Lane. It's going to be needle. Every tackle is going to be cheered. Every mistake is going to be jumped on by the fans. And Sheffield United will be waiting for a mistake from Manchester United. That's what it's going to be like, that game. If United don't make any mistakes, we win the game. It's as simple as that, innit? That's where we're at with it. I think we let teams in easily. We let teams in too easily in these types of games. And I feel like we sort of lose our mental sort of like edge on games. It's like United are in town, we're controlling it, we've got better players, but as soon as the chips are down, you start to see the players on the pitch start to lose it. The heads start to go, and that's when United start to lose games stupidly. They drift out, and the pressure gets to them. The atmospheres get to these players, and that's where we have to be better. I mean, we've got bigger games than this coming up, and we're already worried about this game this weekend. So, I mean, Casemiro out, not too concerned. Ten Hag concentrating on this game, trying not to think about things going on off the pitch. It's the right way to go about it. It's what we should be doing. And honestly, I feel like we're in a position where we need to be taking down Sheffield United, taking down Copenhagen without even we are going to be stressing about it, because we always do. This is what Manchester United do. And we do make games difficult for ourselves. But both of them games ahead of City, and then we're at home to Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup as well, the week after the City game. We could literally be out of the Champions League and out the Carabao Cup in the next week. That's the situation we're in right now. So the game against Sheffield United, Ten Hag needs these players back. And I think the only reason he's a bit more upbeat is simply because he knows he has got some players coming back, which is good. Super chat in from Renee. Cheers for that, buddy. Adam, do you think we can win anything with Ten Hag and these owners? And do you think our players have the right mentality at the moment? We are United? ? Yeah, are we United? That's the thing. Ten Hag has said that he praised his players in his press conference today. He said they are together and they are determined to win. So for me, yeah, it's all right. It's all words. There's plenty of talking, but there's not much walking. To answer that super chat, mate, no, I don't think we are fully united. Not on the pitch, in a way. It's like if the chips are down and there's a scrap, then I think they'll stick up for each other. I think we've got that. We've got that team spirit. We've seen it against Brentford. So I do believe that is there within this squad. But it's that system, it's that style of play that I don't think we're united in. I don't think we have got it. I don't think we understand every player's game. I don't think we understand. I say that because there isn't the mix. There isn't them combinations. There isn't that camaraderie between certain players. We haven't had a settled front, midfield or defence all season. I see James is in the house as well. Cheers, James. Thanks for popping in. You all remember James? He had that brilliant rant on Sunday on the live show. Sunday show is back as well, people, again this weekend. Loads of content coming up, as always. But yeah, I mean, in terms of being united on the pitch, no. But there's games and there's moments. And I looked at that Brentford one where I seen the team was together. We got the victory by hook or by crook. Some would say lucky. We were 5 minutes away from losing that game, but we got the win. And that does show that we have got team spirit. So that is there. It's not always going to be there, though. You're not always going to get them balls in the box that fall your way, that are just going to fall to a substitute just out by chance, Scott McTominay, in injury time. Because Brentford have been time wasting the whole game. You get 6 minutes and you score 2 in the first 5 minutes of that. It's not going to happen every game. We need a style of play. And this is the biggest concern and what most United fans come to me with, style of play. And this question doesn't get brought up. I mean, I tried it last time I was in a press conference with him in Germany, and he sidestepped it then. So I think he knows. He talks about the process, and there seems to be an ever ongoing process in different parts of the pitch. I mean, even when he said process of integrating Højlund into the team, that started another one. I'm just like, oh, good God, man. Seriously. It's like sooner or later it has to click. And I think second season now, if we get through this sort of, like, and I say this, so this is what I meant by the international break, getting in the way of everything. Stop, start. Suit different styles, different managers with internationals coming in, players going away. I mean, Marcus Rashford looks absolutely stupendous for England, doesn't he? Maguire looks steady. Bruno's a world beater. Højlund's a superstar. And then the red shirt comes on and it all just goes downhill. We get through these 3 international breaks. The next one is in November. When that's done, then this is when we need to start seeing Ten Hag ball. Last season, the World Cup got in the way. You sort of went back to basics, didn't we? So I feel like after the international break, the last one before the new year, I feel like this is when we need to start seeing Ten Hag ball. I think this is when fans are going to be like, what have we got here? Who is this manager? What is his style of play? What are his systems? What is the goal in all of this? Is the process actually going to get completed? This is what we need to see on the pitch. Mike Fergus, it's not a super chat, it's a normal chat. Cheers, mate. Adam, loving the channel. How are you making it grow? We will see. Will you still be doing some of the United Stand preview show and odd forums? I'll still be doing little bits, mate, here and there. But yeah, I just wanted to get some more content out on my own channel as well, mates. And this is it. This is where we're at with it. And again, cheers for everyone tuning in. I do love a good catch up on the live show. But yeah, I think match days right now, honestly, I think they've probably been my worst doom and gloom time. The start of this season, I think everyone's seen me after games and I've just been absolutely down, out, finished, not having any clue. And like I said then, that style of play and everything with Ten Hag, you want to come out of a football ground knowing that you've seen something. Even when you lose, you have that moment you just grab onto and go, I can see something there. I've not seen that at all this season with Manchester United. I've seen that team spirit in the Brentford game, but that's not enough. And like Ten Hag said in his press conference, they are determined. They are together. Yes, you can say that. But when one player doesn't pass the ball right to Rashford and he throws his arms in the air, how is that player taking that? Is he thinking, well, F you, next time I'm not going to bother? Do you know what I mean? I don't see that at City. I don't see that at Liverpool. It's a different mentality altogether. United need that understanding on the pitch. The players need to know before even passing the ball where that player is going. And that's just not what we've got at this football club at the moment. We haven't got it. It's like a ball going into the box. And this is what I mean. It's like, it's key. It's absolutely key that you have a consistent team. Because I'll talk about one example right now of where that is actually proven. Because you look at Erling Haaland right now, it's kind of like a forgotten man. And that's crazy to say. He's still got 8 goals this season. Fantastic. But compared to last season, no. Why? Well, you know you got injured earlier on in the season, don't you? And Mr. Kevin De Bruyne. That's why. That link up, that connection. And that's what I'm talking about. Them players that are on the wavelength of other players. And you take one cog out, or you move a player out of a position, which is what I'm going about Bruno Fernandes and Ten Hag, and where I am going on Ten Hag and moving the players around a lot. We need to have a system. We need to have a style of play, but that only comes when you've got that understanding between players. It's like it's not even a second thought and the ball's gone. And Neville and the Beckham down the line, the overlap is inevitable. It's coming. when Kevin De Bruyne gets the ball, it's into an area. It's not looking for Haaland. It's into an area where he knows Haaland is going to operate. And look how many goals he's picked up off that. Last season, this season, and look at it now. And De Bruyne is not in that team. I'm not saying City cannot cover without, but look at the form. Yeah, they've battled through a few games, they're doing okay, but there has been some moments where they just haven't been as good. They haven't had that creative spark, that one moment. And obviously, moments aren't good enough. We know that. We've had some brilliant moments ourselves, and that's what we are, Moments FC. But I just look at it and I go, we need a style of play, at least to have our backup. This is how we're going to play. It may not work at times, and then all of a sudden, one of them players does something brilliant because they've got that synchronicity and they know where a player is going to be, and that ball's perfect. It's one cross into the box. We did it with the ball in. Harry Maguire heading the ball down to Scott McTominay. I mean, City do that. City do that. You know what? It's not all swashbuckling, perfect, ticky-tacky football all the time with them. They know how to cross the ball and hit a long pass. So it does work at times, but you need to have that understanding that there's a time when we're going to do it. And this style of play from United that we don't have as a basis, we are just looking for them moments ahead of what we actually do in the game, in my opinion. And that's where we're going wrong. We don't score enough goals. We need a system. We need a front line that's played together and are going to play together continuously. We need the midfield behind that for sure. The defence, we're just hoping that we get someone fit at the moment. But yeah, talking of defence, another point that Ten Hag was bringing up, Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire! Yes, he does not understand why Harry Maguire gets booed. I mean, to be honest, that's a manager saying what a manager should say, backing his player, and just answering a question in a press conference that he really does not want to answer. That's what Ten Hag's doing right there. And for me, yeah, I didn't expect anything else to come from that. I didn't expect anything. I didn't expect Ten Hag to answer it any other way. What is a worrying fact is how he keeps talking about how he's played well. He played well in the Brentford game and the one before that. I mean, that was Crystal Palace 10. And yeah, Brentford at home, you're expected to win these games. So yeah, let's not pull up trees. Let's not big him up too much. I mean, Gareth Southgate gave him the microphone the other day, and we all know how I feel about that. You give Harry Maguire a chance to talk himself up. Oh, and he's only all too willing to do so. So yeah, let's not get too ahead of ourselves in terms of Harry Maguire's form. But there's a question I want to ask the comment section, actually. Centre-back partnership. Who partners Raphael Varane this weekend? Let me know. Get your comments in now. I'm just going to read through a few of your comments and I'll see if a few of them pop up in terms of centre-back partnerships. Let's get that conversation going right now. Evans, Lindelof, Maguire. Who are you going with? I'll let you know mine when everyone's answered that question. Let's get a few of them in first. David Burgess, Adam Phil Foden makes plenty of assists for Haaland. I think decent centre-backs are wising up to the style of play. Shut down the space in front of him, and he's not half as effective. I mean, we know how to shut down the space, but what I'm talking about with De Bruyne is that's a player that Phil Foden can only dream of being. He's on a different planet, and that's what Haaland's goals came from. Phil Foden, different types of player, in a different position, works a different way. I think Phil Foden's better for England, to be honest, with the players in the setup that they've got there. So I look at it and I go, when that changes, and we do this needlessly because we need Bruno to be syncing up with Haaland, but if Bruno's moving from position to position to position, I just don't see that syncing up properly, and that's the worry I've got. Instead of United thinking they have to buy the very best, buy players who work hard and will gel as a team. Patrick James Simpson, cheers for that chat, mate. Play the best team and not the best players. There's a phrase that I've used many a times before. James Dixon is going with Banana, Dello, Varane, Maguire, Reguilon. I could see that happening. Varane and Lindelof. Evans says Curls. Evans says Leeds United. Why is Casemiro not coming back to Manchester for treatment? Strange. He was just an advisory. So he is definitely coming back. I think he'll be back this week, Ten Hag said anyway. But it's sort of like an advisory thing. It was just there. It was simpler. So instead of him coming straight back, knowing that he's not going to play, get a treatment there and then come back. Anyone but Maggie, says Simon. If the game is long ball, Evans has the ability to connect with the wingers, says Patrick. Johnny Evans for me. Can Varane play? I heard yes. Yes, he can. He's available. Ten Hag confirmed that today in his press conference. Bruno is too busy doing everything and achieving nothing at the same time, says Curlers87. Yep, I agree. And like I said, everyone knows I love Bruno, but he needs to be reined in. He needs to be, that energy needs to be harnessed, is what needs to happen with Bruno Fernandes. Adam, I wonder if the system can't be put in place because of the personnel in the squad. They've been a counter-attack side for such a long time now. I mean, he's had 16 players, Ten Hag, since he's been at the club, brought in. Crazy stat on that one is that half of them have been free transfers or loans. Now, that's a mental one on its own already, isn't it? Lindelof for me, says Antoinette. I think Lindelof is probably edging it at the moment in terms of the vote for partners for Varane. So, yeah, I feel like that's where it's going with that one. Good evening from Germany. Hello, Erica. Good evening from Germany. I hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's ready for the game. And, yeah, well, I'm ready. Oh, I'm scared. I really am. I shouldn't be scared of Sheffield United. I really shouldn't, but I'm a United fan at the moment. Well, I always will be, but at the moment, as a United fan, as just said, I am a little bit nervous for this game because it's like, I can't remember who brought it up in the chat a minute ago. It was a physical game. It was going to be one of them raucous Bramall Lane receptions, big atmosphere. And yeah, it was what can you say with this game? It's like, you know, if something happens in the first 5 minutes, their fan base is just going to be up for it, and it's going to be a nightmare for United. I remember going to Bramall Lane when we had the 3-3. I mean, that was an absolutely crazy game where we just got battered, managed to go in front, and then they scored a last-minute equaliser, and it was just like, well, probably I don't feel as bad as I should, but that's because we were poor and we probably didn't deserve a draw in that game. This can happen to United again. It can. Alien, what you saying? Sarat been moaning about how much money Erik ten Hag has spent. Also, Ancelotti being looked at. Yeah, I mean, that was another point I was going to bring up in this show. Ancelotti for United. Cannot see it, honestly. Can't see it happening. Not while Ten Hag is here. I know this club is fully behind Ten Hag. So Jim moaning about what we spent. He had a go at the spending of Manchester United. Apparently, Casemiro, why are we buying players of that age for that amount of money? Because we were desperate, because we lost out on bleeding Frenkie de Jong. Well, we didn't lose out on Frenkie de Jong. We never had him. We were just dragged along by Barcelona, as we always are. We never do dealings with Barcelona. Nothing ever goes well. And we fell for it again that summer. I remember talking about Frenkie de Jong so many times. It was just painful in the end. Absolutely painful talking about it. But yeah, the only reason we brought Casemiro in was because we just ballsed up on that deal. So yeah, that was that one. But no to Ancelotti. That news circulating in, not too confirmed, or not too, let's just say, best placed sort of in the know people. I say the accounts that were bringing that news up weren't ones that were reliable anyway. Let's put it that way. Declan Rice would have been a much better buy than Mount or Casemiro. Again, we're behind the times on that one. I agreed. Everyone disagreed with me at the time that Rice was a good signing. But yeah, Casemiro, 60 million. Apparently, the way that we're going to be operating, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in and takes control, isn't that way. We're not going to be spending big money on players that are, I'll say, over the hill, you could say. Something like that. But yeah, I mean, you've got to look at it and go, I can see what he's saying. I understand it. But yeah, at the time, I think I was happy that we bought Casemiro. I mean, players go on for a while now, don't they? I mean, I'd say 32 is a decent age for a midfielder. And you look at some of the great players, they're still playing into the mid-30s. So Casemiro, what was he, 29 when we brought him in? You still get a good 3 years out of him, surely. I mean, that's when the contract ends. And I could sort of see why. But again, according to sources, Sir Jim Ratcliffe isn't going to operate that way. So that isn't going to be a thing of the future, especially if Sir Jim has his say. Culty Casemiro was a saviour signing for us last year, though. I did say that. Yes, he was. Like Ian Rashford and De Gea saved our season and is the only reason Ten Hag got top 6. Top 3, mate. Never mind top 6, top 3. That's what we got. Killers87. We heard all the young players shit with LVG. For those who remember the Glazer policy, then yeah, that's it. Under the Glazers, I just don't feel like they had the right people in place in terms of transfers. They never did. And I don't think, well, they're in charge. Any United fan, or whether any say in Manchester United, any fan is going to be confident of our transfer windows going forward either. So in terms of Sir Jim and his role, that obviously is being talked about this week in the news as well, that's not going to get done, or it's not going to be over the line until when we're looking probably well into January. So the transfer window, we may not have Sir Jim in charge. If he is coming in, I don't think he'll be in until after the window is gone. So it's going to be too late. The process is going to take a little bit too long for him to be accepted and cleared and gone through all the right checks within the Premier League. So yeah, do give the video a like, guys. Let's get it up there. We're hovering on now. We need to get to 100 likes. So let's get into them, please, everyone. Smash a like on the video. We are doing big numbers, guys. We actually did hit 25,000 subscribers as well, quite quickly the other day. So absolutely buzzing with that. And cheers for all the support as always. Share the video. Let's get more people involved. Give it a like. And if you are joining for the first time, join them many people in subscribing to the channel. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And cheers for all your support as well. Comments have been absolutely brilliant, guys, as well in all the videos. I said it at the start of the video, but for people coming in right now, just, yeah, a big cheer, big up for you as well. Absolutely brilliant. Loving it. Loving all the interaction with you guys, because that's what it is about at the end of the day. I'm just reading through your messages now, actually, in the live section, and it is one of worry. I mean, guys, talk to me. How are you feeling? Do you feel like we have got the win this weekend against Sheffield United? How confident are you? Are you confident now that we've got Varane, Reguilon back in that defence? You feel like we've got more than enough? Are you still just worried? Are you still just worried about us just not having that cohesion like I was talking about, not having that connection on the pitch? I mean, let me know what you think. I mean, like I said, I'm nervous. I don't see how we can go into this game confident. I don't see how United go into any game confident. I really don't. And 3-0 to the Blades, says Alien. Oh, I was going to read out a confident one there, I thought, mate. But we should win with the injuries back. But it's the big teams. Yeah. It's the big teams that scare me shitless, said Curlers. And do you think we'll win the league before you draw your pension? I'll be in my grave, mate, I think. That's how much. If Newcastle can score 8, we can score 9. Mike, that is wishful thinking. Not confident at all, says Nick. We are disjointed at the moment. 2-0 to United, says John. Let's see. I mean, that's my take on him, says John Hyde. Don't know what you're talking about. I think that might have been a conversation with someone else in the chat. But yeah, I'm going 3-1 United, but I'm worried about the season overall. Yep. Yeah, definitely the same there, mate. I mean, we can get through Sheffield United. It looks decent, on to 15 points, and then we get slapped back down to earth by Newcastle and City back-to-back, both at home. This fan base goes into meltdown mode again, and it's all doom and gloom. 2 competitions, the one that we are holders in, we're out of that. Oh, and the other competition event is the Champions League, because we have to beat Copenhagen as well. Lost against Sheffield United in Copenhagen and City. RIP Eric Ten Hag, says Alien. I think he definitely will be up for the high jump. I think questions are going to be asked. Great time to play United. We are dodgy as F, says Barry. Yeah, we are. I think Sheffield United must be licking their lips at the prospect of playing Manchester United. They must be. I mean, like you said, it is the best time to play United right now. You just don't know. We don't know who's going to play. So, I mean, I think Ten Hag doesn't even know his best team. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I can sort of pick the team in my head right now. I really can. Villa fan here. I feel Sheffield United will try and put it right on you. It's with all the off-field turmoil. Yep. I bet you're happy one at the moment, aren't you, mate? Villa fans must be well buzzing right now with their season. I mean, they're another team that just look better than us at the moment as well, aren't they? We got to win. So Dickinson, big up Adams. Looking forward to this. That's a great sight to tomorrow. A great insight into tomorrow. Sorry, mate. Message went straight up off my screen then. Adam, remember Ollie Ball in LD 2-1 Sheffield United? Oh God, yeah, I do remember that. They'll be right up for it, the Blades. Yes, they will be right up for it. It's United. It's on United. We need to be able to handle what's coming our way. That's what's needed, to be honest. I feel like right now, Manchester United have to use that bounce that we got from Brentford and go into this game, have the character needed. God knows what the weather's going to be like. I mean, that's just going to add to it as well, isn't it? It's going to be one of them horrible sort of nights where it's lashing it down with rain. Horrible cold night in Sheffield. Perfect for Sheffield United to take down Manchester United. And that's the worry, isn't it? That's it. It's like, oh, are we going to see the teddy bears? Or are we going to see men stand up against Sheffield United? That's the question. We'll win by the odd goal, Adam. We're not the team that scores a lot of goals and puts teams to the sword. I mean, no, we're not. And that's the worry for me. We just don't score enough goals. We don't score enough goals to carry any sort of threat to anyone. So they come at us knowing that we can't score. I said it before. What was the game we said it against? I think it was Crystal Palace when they beat us at home. Give United the ball and they will just implode. That's how you beat United. Give them the ball because we don't know what we're doing with it. We can't create. Like Alien said then, it is basically it's a counter-attacking side, isn't it? That's what it is. It's a counter-attacking side that really hasn't got a game plan under Ten Hag at the moment, and that's what I'm waiting to see. That is what I'm waiting to see. Rasmus got 2 on international break. Rashford got 1. Hopefully that helps them in confidence. Like I said, that's the perfect comment from Cole there, where he's like, you come off the back of Brentford, last gasp winners, everyone's buoyant. We've had a lot of good international performances this week from our players. Let's take that form into this game, get this win against Sheffield United. And guys, this is sad to say, like we're into like the back end of October, but this is the first chance we've had to win back-to-back games in the Premier League this season so far. That tells you how bad and how misjointed Manchester United are. Good show, Adams. Muchaco. Cheers for that, mate. With Rashford off his game, we have no real striker as Haaland is still finding his feet, said Curlers. I mean, Haaland scored 2 good Champions League goals. Rashford got a goal for England. I mean, I've got to go in there thinking that we can sort of start clicking somehow at some point. In 1999, we had 4 forwards. We took Cole and York off for Sheringham and Solskjaer. I remember, mate, we just don't have that squad. We don't have that quality and depth anymore, do we? That's the problem. So, yeah, I look at it and I go, well, yeah, Ten Hag has got big issues if he doesn't get the result in this game. Massive issues, in fact, because I honestly cannot see us getting the win against City at home, and I'm worried about Newcastle. I think Newcastle will go strong. I think they'll be out for revenge, and every time there's a revenge mission against United, you know what happens. We've seen it with Newcastle after we beat them in the final. We were diabolical, weren't we, in that game at St. James's Park? Absolutely dreadful. But yeah, a year ago, this would have been how many United would get, not hoping to get some sort of a result. I mean, Patrick, yeah, I'm with you. A result is all we're looking for, I think, out of this one. Just need to get them points on the board and stay relevant, actually stay up there in the league. That's the concern at the moment, isn't it? It's like we are mid-table. A defeat here at Sheffield United, this really is like the end of the road sort of tackle, isn't it? It is one of like, well, where do we go from here, basically? Where do we go from here if this doesn't go well against Sheffield United? Because we know what's coming against Manchester City. We know it's going to be one of them games. So, yeah, Ten Hag, I feel, if he doesn't get the result in this one, he's under pressure. Big pressure. Here's my 2 pence. Any slots is a shot for next Manchester United manager. Aileen, you just sat at home, aren't you, mate? Just looking at everything online, trying to find a manager. Actually, no, you're playing PlayStation, aren't you? Is it playing FIFA? I know what you're doing. You've already got him in place, haven't you, as your manager? I know it. Too much time at home, mate. Playing FIFA. That's what you're doing. Let's see now. Slots ain't done anything though. Alien and Hansi Flick will be another Ralph for me. That's the problem, isn't it? I mean, plenty of people are talking up like Ten Hag being in danger, but there isn't that much out there in terms of managers to replace him. Ultimately, is there? There isn't. Hey Adam, not sure whether you touched on it, but what do you reckon to the team? What do you reckon the team tomorrow? Great show as always, pal. Gary, yeah, I think my team picked itself really. The back four, I think it's going to be Maguire because Ten Hag was talking about him in that press conference today with Varane, Reguilon, and Dalot. Midfield's going to be Amrabat, Mount, and Bruno. And I do feel like we are going to see Rashford, Højlund, and Anthony. In terms of Anthony and where he plays, actually, because Anthony there. Yeah, I think that's where I'll go with that. I think it's going to be that front three, that midfield, and that defense. But yeah, I feel like I'm happy to see him in midfield, and I'm going to be able to judge him properly. I feel like that's a good point. In terms of the other link-ups I want to see, I'd like to see Mount play again. I know that he's fully rested, obviously, after not going international duty, so that's a good thing to have in our midfield. Amrabat hasn't had much game time because he dropped out of the Morocco squad, so that's good. There were rumours that he was going to be injured. He's not. He's definitely not injured. Ten Hag has said that he is available. In terms of the ones that we're worried about, Ten Hag has pretty much confirmed everyone. Reguilon, Varane, Amrabat are all going to be available for tomorrow's game against Sheffield United, so that's good as well. So, yeah, happy with that. And to be honest, I think United just need to go out there and just express themselves. Just go and play football for a change. That's what it is. What's happening, Big Ron? Good to see you back in the house. Don't forget to give the video a like, guys. I'm going to be doing my full-on preview video. That's going to be up later on tonight as well. So do go watch that video as well. That's a full breakdown of everything team-wise that I think is going to be happening. Yeah, and that pretty much rounds up everything. There's not loads, but all factual and all on point from Ten Hag's press conference today, guys. So, yeah, cheers for tuning in again, everyone. Cheers for all support, likes, all subscribers. Do hit that subscribe button if you are watching for the first time. More content to come. It's game weekend, obviously, so there's going to be plenty of content this weekend. But, yeah, guys, absolutely brilliant as always. Cheers for the super chats. Cheers for the chats. Sunday's show with guest is going to be back as well. So tune into that one. It should be fun. Definitely talking after hopefully a United win anyway. But yeah, that is it, guys. Cheers for tuning in. Good stream again, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow. Game day. Here we go.